All right, so we're going to go to Colonel Sean Corrigan, another West Point grad, and running the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, 30-year career as Army Ranger and Special Ops guy, just amazing. So Sean, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Jesse, really interested in your whiteboard there. I'd love to see that thing in all the intricacies. So on it, what trips and experiences do you have coming up in the next year?
Right. So first of all, Sean, thank you so much, man, for everything you do and have done. Jason, you too, all of our veterans that are on here. So the way that I approach it is every year I try to do, there's an old Japanese ritual called the misogi. And the notion around a misogi, you can Google Kyle Korver, who played for us at the Hawks, Kyle Korver and misogi, and you'll find some articles on this. He's the one who taught me about it. The notion around this Japanese ritual called the misogi is you do one thing once a year, you do one thing that's so big, so hard, so challenging, it impacts you the entire 364 other days of the year. I've taken liberty to kind of change that definition a little bit into doing one thing that kind of defines your year. So Sean, if you had a terrible year, knock on wood, God forbid you got corona or you got sick, or you were out of pocket for a couple of months, or your business was down 30%, you still have one thing that you did that you could be like, in 2019, I accomplished this. 2018, I did this. I think if I were to ask, and I'm not picking on Michael Barron or Brendan or Robert, anyone on this call, if I asked anybody, what did you do in 2010, 11, 12? What did you do 8 days ago? Mostly everybody would not know. But when you think of it in terms of shrink down the years, you probably only remember a handful of big moments or events or things that you did or memories. You know, we have 365 days. We remember like a dozen events, you know? So the first thing I do is I think about what's the one big thing on my calendar. So for me, I like physical challenges. For me, in the next 12-month window, it's a thing called Ultraman. It's a crazy race. That's my one thing that's on my thing. So that I start with putting one thing on my board. Everyone should do this, by the way. You should really try to have one year-defining challenge. It could be I want to learn French. It could be I'm going to, whatever, run a marathon, stops, whatever, something that you say this year, this is what I did. And then I have something I call Kevin's rule, which is, I'm not going to go into the background of it, but every other month, so one day or weekend, every other month, I try to do something that I normally would not have done. So instead of watching the Alabama football game, I might take my kids fishing, or I might learn how to kneeboard, or I might take, go down to the range and learn how to shoot, whatever. Because if you do that consistently for the next 30 years, if I do it from 50 to 80, I will create 150, 5 a year times 30 years, 150 new experiences, moments, skills that I wouldn't have had if I just watched the football game. So the way that I start to attack my year is I pick one big thing, and then I have 5 mini things. Mine are already laid out, right? So one of mine was I got to stay with Wim Hof in Poland. Now, these are extreme, and I'm not suggesting anybody, I'm in a different spot. I'm not trying to, bang my chest. I'm just telling you what I did. I'm going to take my kids. We're going to camp out at Mount Washington, Mark, in the winter, outside in the snow one weekend. I'm treating my college friends to something, but it could be as simple as I'm going to a conference. I'm going to go on a fishing trip. I'm going to go camping overnight. So if I have one big event on top of work, kids, family, taking care of my parents and all the things that I do, if I have one big event, 5 little adventures, that's the start of an amazing year. And then the third thing I do is I try to introduce one winning habit every month or two. So for me, this I'm still working on this, but I want to drink 100 ounces. So I don't drink enough water, 100 ounces of water a day. If I can do that, and then next month, in the next month or two, I say, you know what, Sean, I'm never going to be late for another meeting again. That's my commitment. Think about this. If everybody on this call did exactly what they did the same over the next 12 months, you guys think you're operating at a high level, that's cool. I'm not here to grade or judge anyone. All I'm saying is if you did exactly what you're doing, everything the same, you cold call, you handle your customers the same, you build your business the same for the next 12 months, but you did one Misogi, one life-changing thing, 5 new adventures, and you added 6 winning habits, how insanely unbelievable would that year be?